Ladies and gentlemen, guys and gals, hope you're having a wonderful day. And welcome to Abandonware Adventures Live. Look at that title. I got OBS to put that title there. It's green screen the title and everything. It's fantastic. And I am feeling very chilly today because, where I live, it rained all day yesterday and, it's 23 degrees Celsius. Now that might not sound cold to most of you, but we often float around 30, 33, 35 degrees Celsius. So 23 degrees Celsius is like the Highlands chill air and everything. Now, by the looks of things, it seems like my microphone is actually on screen right now. So let me just pop this up a little bit without trying to break the green screen. Come on, just, there we go. Is that the green screen showing? Damn it. Let me just bring it closer. There we go. Wonderful. Okay, cool. So, this is Abandonware Adventures, and if you don't recognize the background right there, that is SimPark. Let me just click on, there we go. Get the sound going there. Because this game is from 96, I think, maybe a bit older. And basically, what I want to do with Abandonware Adventures, in the past, I've done 5 proper episodes of Abandonware Adventures where I did Warcraft 1, I did Civilization 1, the Oregon Trail, playing those old games which generally I've never played. But what I want to do now is I want to make it live so I can bring you on an adventure. So, I am streaming. I at twitch.tv/gamezack if you'd like to join. I'm streaming on Saturday mornings, 9 a.m. GMT +8 if you'd like to join next time. And today, I'm going to be playing 2 games. And I think I'll keep it at that format because I want to play 2 games each time. And today is going to be, well, first up, SimPark. Now, Abandonware Adventures are sort of gameplay explanation videos, but I now want to talk about games that I played. Not games I haven't played. I might get back to those, but I want to talk about games I played so I can explain things clearer. And also, in the live, since I'm doing it live, you guys can ask questions in terms of getting it to run properly, and these games always have very weird problems. For example, Civilization 2, the music will only play if you have the disc in your D drive or you actually go change the INI file, and even then the music doesn't really play properly. In terms of SimPark, it says that it has to run in 256 color mode, but it's not. That doesn't seem to be the requirement, because even if you run in compatibility 256 color mode, it doesn't work. Turns out, it needs to be in 4:3 resolution, it seems. Now, I'm sure I've gotten it to run in widescreen before, but it doesn't seem to be able to do it consistently. Let me just get rid of that reality there. Okay, good. But it seems to consistently run properly in 4:3, and I'm currently running it in VirtualBox on Windows XP, just to make sure everything's running properly. And that's, now that I've got, this is the first time I'm properly using VirtualBox, it opens up a lot of possibilities. Am I streaming at 1080p? No, I am streaming at 720. I've tried streaming at 1080, and, well, on Abandonware, that's this old, it won't make much difference. Although, SimPark has a responsive interface. Can you imagine that? SimPark has a responsive interface, which means the interface actually changes how much it's displaying based on your screen size. Isn't that amazing? Because old games, they ran using the old sort of Windows, like in the game they're using Windows technology, and it just resizes, no problem. Modern games can't do that because the interface is fixed, and that causes a whole another set of problems. And now I'm streaming to Twitch. If there's any freezes or anything, it's definitely not on my side. Dropped frames, 0%. But I do know streaming Twitch, as in from the watching side, can be a bit slower. Anyway, what is your name? My name is GamerZack. And I'm just going to pick easiest here because the only thing it changes in these old games tends to be how much money you start with, and I want to get into this. Next, choose a park location. Have you guys played SimPark before? I love SimPark. Although, SimSafari is definitely a much better game. I just have to say that. But SimSafari wouldn't exist without SimPark. Now, let's see. Right, choosing a park location. This stuff always sort of confused me in the past. You can pick all these different things, and basically it just determines what what plants do well, what animals do well, and stuff like that. And I had a quick look through this to see which had the best of everything, and it's Mediterranean. Mediterranean has the best climate for a lot of things. Pretty much everything grows and lives well in the Mediterranean climate. I'm not sure if that's true in real life, probably not, but it does well in this game. Choose a park map. Ah, look at this. Now, I always like to get a park which has lots of islands, because then you can isolate the different environments. You can have one island which is like very tropical and arid, then have the big trees on another place. So let's try to find one with a lot of islands. This could be good. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's pretty good. For a nice little corner section of 5 sections. Alright, let's start the game. Now, let me see if things are on. Oh, Rizzo, right. Always like a didgeridoo as well. Welcome to SimPark. Now, let's get planting. Alright, so you see this? This is the responsive interface. Because I'm running at a slightly higher resolution, even though it's 4x3, all of this appears in one row. Look at that. There are buttons. If there are more things, there's a button to see more. But because the interface is large enough to fit all, it just fits all. It's a responsive interface. Well, let's get things started. There's a lot of trees to choose from. So let's split them up. Because the more stuff you have, the better. I'm gonna get a fantastic park. Always place the trees first, because they take the longest to grow. Let's put 2 more there. And as you place trees, animals will come. So, anyone in the audience played SimPark before? Because this is a fantastic game. Look at this scrolling method. It's this wheel in the top right corner. It's rather weird. There we go. I'll skip over the... Let's have a tropical island. Tropical island, I like to put the Joshua trees. I know it's not necessarily tropical, it just kind of looks... It looks nice. So, on this island, I'll also put... Joshua trees look good with palms, I think. Now, I always got confused when I was a kid, because when it said palm, I always thought it meant a coconut. And it always did, like, the palm doesn't live well in arid or, well, it doesn't live well in the tropical climate. And I was like, I'm big tropical. I live in Malaysia. I want coconuts. It's not coconuts. It is actually like a palm thing. Let's get some ponderosa. Is it ponderosa? Ponderosa pines. Those things are pretty big. We'll get some quaking aspen. Now, I grew up on a lot of games like this. So, there's a cougar. So, I really got into nature. Do certain trees attract certain animals? Definitely. I mean, you can see things are moving in. Look at that. Let me take the microphone.
This here is a beaver. Ouch. She is not a happy camper. Please, can we have more food?
Welcome to the mid-90s. I think this was actually meant to be a children's game. So a lot of it is quite cartoony. I wouldn't say childish, because it's actually not necessarily childish. The game is still quite nice. But SimSafari, which I most likely will be playing as well, has a lot more gameplay features. It's got more objectives. SimPark is just kind of SimPark's just kind of a sandbox sort of thing. So we're about to put down the last kind of tree here, and I'll just spread them out around here. The sycamores. And we'll spread them over here. Okay. Map's funny.
Hey,
funny.
you.
I was thinking about Rizzo. There's Rizzo. Is he gonna pop out again? Okay.
Yo,
Watch this.
thanks. I was getting bored off screen.
Here's a hint for good park health. Build a park with lots of trees, shrubs, and flowers. Then put in mammals, birds, and reptiles. Try to build a food web so each species has something to eat.
And
If you're bored, you could go play Name That Tune.
see you later, alligator.
That is Rizzo. I will tell you, he gets incredibly annoying very quickly, and after a few of those things, I'm gonna turn him off. Anyway, let's move on to shrubs. Shrubs are... Again, we'll spread them around. Bearberries. Yes. Blueberries. Now what I kind of used to do, is I would color code my park. Like I'll put all the yellow things in one place. But I'm just gonna do this because I don't have to think too much about it. Currants? There we go, currants. Dogwood. Now, at the borders of where these plants grow, they will start competing. And what do we got next? Elderberries. And we'll see which one survives. Lilacs? Oh, I love the lilacs. They're just big and purple. Oregon grape. Now, of course, me growing up in the tropics, in Malaysia, in Asia, I was fascinated by most of these plants because we just don't have them. Oh, we got some mail. Let's have a look at the computer. Ah, it's a computer from the 90s, basically. Email. Summer Jones, blueberry picking. I would like to get a permit for my Girl Scout troop to pick blueberries. Thank you. Your park is beautiful. A lot of this is flavor text. It doesn't actually mean anything. Okay, very well. What did I just put down? I'm putting on poison oak. Alright, prickly pears. I'm gonna put this on my little tropical island here. It's not a tropical island. I'm fully aware it's not tropical. Rhododendron. So I learned all about these plants because there's actually a quiz thing in this game. Like, for you to learn and recognize plants and animals. It's actually highly educational. And games like this, and maybe this game specifically, really gave me a love of nature. It's just fantastic. Look at this. Oh, that's the error noise. Yes. Everything about it is so 90s. It's just fantastic. Saguaro, these are cacti. Put them next to the prickly pears. Now, of course, not all of these are technically shrubs, but... What's that? Serviceberry. I don't remember that name. But you can see in Mediterranean, pretty much everything is green. Green borders means the thing is gonna survive well here. Yellow means less well. Red means probably not at all. Spirea. Oh, look at that. Nice white thing. And you can see things are moving in. And what was this? Verbunum? Verbunum? Let's
Yoo-hoo!
Oh, there's Rizzo again.
Thanks. Here's what I gotta tell you.
Although you may not see it, the pond is teeming with fish.
I just remembered. Good job. You're putting in lots of adaptable species. That's the first step in getting a nice biodiverse park. Okay, bye.
We're gonna let him do one more. More fireweed eaters? It's just flavor text. It doesn't actually mean anything. Now we are putting down these. We'll let them survive there. Alright, then we got flowers. Look how many flowers there are. But you can see, you don't have to put down animals. Things are moving in. Look at these birds. We've got a few creatures over here. They'll just move in by themselves. So, let's keep things going. Once I get all these plants down, we'll be good to go. Let's get some buttercups down here. Now, of course, you can see the interface is a little awkward to use, especially just moving around the map. I mean, there's no map on the interface, which is probably the worst part of the interface. Now, of course, when I played this game as a kid, I was not nearly this organized in setting up a park. I would just cover the whole map with sunflowers, because I love sunflowers. And just have endless fields of sunflowers. But in this case, I'm going to give you a bit more diverse approach. Geraniums. Am I running out of money? Not quite, I got 12,000. I think the park gets like a grant every now and again. Sunflowers? I'll get to that email. Let's put down the ice plants. Look, we got some snakes. Oh, the purples really work well together. Then we got the iris. Lupine. Yeah, I always wanted them to remake games like this. You know, I mean, are there any like modern sort of park management games which are that are realistic but not too realistic, that actually still have some charm to them? Shooting stars. You guys love Kermit, right? Well, Rizzo. He's like a really bad Kermit. Like, much worse. Violets. So these are the last land flowers. And then I'm gonna put down some of these water stuff. Venus flytraps. Ah, I love Venus flytraps. Anyway, water hyacinths. Let's get some of these growing in the water. Water lilies. We'll make them over here. And we have cattail, which grows in the...
Yo!
Watch what happens when I interrupt him.
All right, but beware.
He gets pissy when you interrupt him. Just gonna spread some of these around, and we'll get some sedge as well. And then we are pretty much done with setting up the natural stuff of our park. We just have to wait for things to move in. It'll grow over time. You can see these trees are already growing much faster. Looks fantastic, right? Then, of course, there's the human stuff. The human stuff is where money comes from. So I suppose we'll set up the human camp here. Looks good. We can, of course, look all these mammals. So many animals to go through. Birds. Lots of birds. Reptiles. Plenty of reptiles. Iguanas don't do well here at all in the Mediterranean. People stuff. Let's put down some people stuff. We're gonna put down a gazebo. We'll give them a slide. They'll need an outhouse, a fire hydrant, a drinking fountain, a bench, a couple tents. I'm not having any organization to this. Let's put... We have a Rizzo award. Why did we get that?
If you're not a Power Ranger, I don't know what is. I'm promoting you to a Duck Level Ranger and awarding you a $2,500 bonus. And you might want to look for a little something I've left for you to place in your park. You know what I always say, keep on IDing and biodiversifying.
Apparently that's my boss. I forgot that she sounded like that. But yeah, you get awards. Want a moose? You got a lot of moose? Yeah, sure. That basically means if you actually want to place down moose, they're free. Look at that. Cost 0. We'll put down 2. People stuff. Right. So we get a Rizzo award because we got promoted to duck level. Let's put it right here next to the drinking fountain. Alright, fantastic. We'll put a campfire right there. That's not safe. We'll put down an actual fountain there. A hot dog stand near there. And swing set over there. Is that good? That's good. Alright, we'll hook it up. As you can tell, I am not organizing any of this properly. But let's hook things up anyway. And we'll have this go around like that. And I never know which side things connect to. We gotta do... Let me just shift over a bit there. Okay, good. And we'll... There we go. And there's our human park. Fantastic, right? These people come in and they give you money.
I want to sit down, but there aren't any benches here.
More benches. Fantastic. We'll also give a couple more picnic tables. Now in SimSafari, the whole human thing, the park thing, it's so much more advanced. You actually have a whole map for your park, a whole map for the people stuff, and a whole map for an actual village where you have to improve through sort of basically just hiring people and stuff. So SimSafari is a huge step up from this, but I wanted to play SimPark first because this is where it all came from. You can see things are starting to grow, things are starting to spread, it's looking like a park. If you just give it a couple years, it really just, look at that, they're all just popping in and growing. It'll look fantastic. You know, just have to give it a little bit of time. And this human stuff's, it's fantastic. Also, having a gazebo allows you to have certain special...
Yo! I've got some touchy.
Get out of here, Rizzo. So, I'm now gonna turn Rizzo off because I do not want him around. And let's check out some computer stuff. More fireweed eaters. Alright, let's look at this. Identispecies. I love this. Identispecies. We gotta identify what plant that is. See how educational games were sort of designed in the 90s? This is an educational game. This is better than most educational games today. Anyway, let's try identify the species. It's a tree. Does it have needles or leaves? Leaves. Leaves simple or compound? Compound. Leaflets narrow or oblong? Oblong. Is the first pair of the leaflet bigger or smaller than the rest? Smaller. It's a walnut. Next species. It's a leaf. Simple. Lob. Tooth. I think I got it wrong. Indistinct lobe? Is it? It's wrong. No, sorry. Leaves. Compound. Oblong. Bigger leaflets. Hickory. Leaves. Simple. Entire. Tooth. Oblong leaf. Small teeth. Straight veins. Peach tree. Look at that. We can also identify shrubs, animals. This one, I think it tries sounds as well. I'm not sure. No horns or antlers. It walks technically. They're covered in fur, right? Or is that considered hairless? Let's try hairless. Long thin tail. Plain hairy body. Ears are kind of hidden. It is not a shroom. No horns or antlers. Walks. Kind of furry. Is that a stubby tail or a long tail? Stubby? Short ears? Well, I've got it completely wrong. It is not a grizzly bear. It's fine. Field guide. We've got all sorts of things here. You can actually hear things. Cottontail doesn't make any noise. Cougar. That is that typical movie sound effect, right? That's the sound effect that everyone uses. We've got a budget menu. We've got our emails, park information over here. Population graphs, which I'm not going to bother. Name that song. Here's another built-in game. It's got 2-player mode. So we actually have to identify... It's a grouse. That's a woodpecker. Egret? I'm clicking too fast. Hawk. Swallow. I don't know if I won or lost. That's fine. Anyway, let's look at our park. Time's been passing. Things have been growing. Oh, it's fantastic. Here's our arid sort of island. Things have been spreading. Things have been growing. Look, some of the palm trees are kind of growing there. And you can just take the microphone and ask how anything's doing in the park.
This is a palm tree. She has been happy living in this park so far.
It's fantastic. And the water plants are growing as well. We've got another... What is this about fireweed eaters? It's just fireweed eaters end on end. So I could go ahead and build more, but you can see right now in SimPark, your objective sort of, well, it fades very quickly. Like, what am I supposed to do now? I'm waiting for the park to grow. I mean, we don't have any sort of proper rating system. Animals come in by themselves. Basically, animals move in based on what you've planted, and they will survive if you've planted enough. So you don't have to worry about putting in animals. And since I put in some of everything, here is being completely overeaten. So let's put in some predators. There's some foxes. There's some bobcats. And we'll put in a few wolves. That should handle the overpopulation there. Because you can see on the map, certain areas start to get barren. And that's kind of the only management stuff you have to do. The sedge is growing quite nicely. Cattail's going quite nice. We've got our fields of, what are these, daffodils?
This is a buttercup.
Buttercups.
He is thriving.
Yes. And that's pretty much SimPark. Right? That's SimPark. I mean, I'm just kind of waiting. Is there a way to speed things up? No, there's no speed options. We got our disasters. We'll have a look at the disasters soon enough. I'm just sort of waiting for the trees to grow to their maximum size, which I think takes 3 years in-game. Because then things will look really nice. Like, some of these trees haven't even grown at all. These are the first trees I planted. They're not at full size either. Alright. I spent so many countless hours playing this game. It's insane. How did I spend so much time on this? I mean, it's a fun game and all, but I'm pretty much done. Well, I guess I didn't play quite as efficiently as a kid. I would tend to like start on one small island and just sort of get this island looking nice, then I'll move over here, get this island looking nice, that sort of thing. I wouldn't just go and spread a whole bunch of things around and just let it grow. You can see here it's getting a bit barren though. The people just sort of wander around, they leave trash. You can clear it up. Things move into the water as well. There should be some otters or something. Yeah, there are a couple of otters. We can go ahead and place more of those. They just eat the fish, and fish are infinite. So, let's go ahead and populate that. Get those guys going. Alright. It'd be cool if there was actually a fish section, but I guess they opted out of that because the way the water works, it's just a tile, so you don't really see the fish. I could use the cheat engine to speed up. I don't know how to cheat in SimPark. But there you go. Ah, there we go. These trees have grown to full size. Looks fantastic. I love how the seasons change and there's actually a different graphic for all these trees. These trees over here should be getting big as well. Ah, look at that. The colors just are actually surprisingly nice. I mean, the ground colors are a little like this sand color, and the watercolor is a bit, you know. But actually, overall, the color palette and the mood for SimPark looks it's quite nice. Things, I don't know, I see predators, I see prey here. Might be too many bears, but should be fine. Now, some species do always just sort of get wiped out. It's natural. What are the obstacles in this game? nothing. There are no obstacles. I mean, money is sort of an issue, but I started on easy. That's why I could do this. If you start on medium or hard, you can't just populate the whole thing in one go. But still, eventually, you just sort of... It just takes longer to get here, because you do get money every year. Here we go. We earned 5,000 last year, I think. Balance from last year. Yeah, we've earned 5,000. Tax revenue. It just gives you 5,000 a year. Oh, look at that. It's spring. Is it spring? No, it says it's winter. It should be spring, right? These trees look fantastic. What are these?
This is an elm tree.
Elms.
This is an elm tree. He has been happy living in this park so far.
There are way too many skunks here. I mean, I suppose this is kind of an obstacle where you get overpopulation if you don't manage things properly. So you can just put down a few predators to make sure things don't get overpopulated. I mean, you don't get... I mean, there's just way too many skunks here. I mean, you could suck them up, I guess. I mean, you should balance that, but SimSafari puts in much better objectives. You actually have a 5-star rating system for your resort. You have to get the big 5 in the savannah big, which are like, I think it's lions, elephants, cheetahs? I forgot what the big 5 of the savannah are. To cheat in SimPark, you gotta hack the game files. Well, I'm not doing that now. I'm almost bringing this to a close, actually, and moving on to the next game. Because SimPark, I think I've shown you everything. I think that is it. We can turn off the interface, which means we can no longer use the map to get around, so you'd never do that. I mean, there really does need to be a mini-map on the screen, like as part of the normal interface. That's sort of the biggest UI problem here. But I'm still wondering how I spent so much time. I mean, I was playing this game for months. Like, I would play it on and off for months, or maybe even years when I was a kid. All the way up until SimSafari came out. And then I started playing that. Because I think this came in a... My dad bought this disc. It was a Sim 30-in-1 disc, and it had SimCity 2000, SimPark, SimTower, SimEarth. SimEarth never worked. SimTower never really worked either. I mean, some games just didn't run anymore. And it had, I don't know, 30-in-1. I'm not sure if any of you had that. And SimPark was one of them. And along with SimCity 2000. So I played those two so much. Probably the best games on that pack. Remember in the 90s where they had those packs of games, shareware games basically, and some of them were complete games, some of them were just partially demo versions, and they just always sold those things. Like, I remember there was this folder, I'm sure I have this folder somewhere around, and it was just filled with 20 or 30 game discs, and it had Raptor, Call of the Shadows, and I think it had like Hocus Pocus and like, weird games. Like, you've never heard of them. But yeah. This was basically Stardew Valley in the mid-90s. You can tell, gameplay-wise, things have evolved quite significantly. But I think our trees... We got an email. Lots of maples. We got 3 maples. I can't even recognize these. I suppose you get used to... There we go. Maples are free. To an extent, I think. They're still free? I don't know whether it's a time thing or... Free maples. But yeah, this is a relaxing game. There are so many predators here. They gotta start dying out, right? I mean, the deer out. There's quite a lot of deer. Maybe it's a bit too many predators. I mean, this is sort of all you do. You set up your park, and you just sort of manage it to make sure things stay okay. Do I like Hero of Might and Magic 1? I've never really got into the Might and Magic series because I played Age of Wonders. And I do actually have a complete Age of Wonders Let's Play, Age of Wonders 1 Let's Play on my channel. And because I was playing Age of Wonders, I never really got into Might and Magic. They're both sort of turn-based fantasy RPG strategy games, but I was sort of stuck on Age of Wonders for the longest time. And that's about it. Yeah. SimPark. That's all there is to show. It looks fantastic, doesn't it? Look at these trees growing up. I don't know what happened to these trees. These trees are the ones I placed last. They haven't grown up yet. But the ones over here look fantastic. Once things have sort of settled, it's pretty much fine. There's still way too many skunks. But yeah, basically you're just sort of trying to balance the biodiversity of your park. But I think that's all I need to show you. Thank you so much for watching this Abandonware Adventures. I will be back with another game very soon, so don't go anywhere. Stay tuned. I'm gonna go ahead and take a break, and we will check that one last email. I can't leave you hanging like that. Cool game. Have you seen that new computer game, SimPark? One of my staff brought it, and we all played it. I had to tell her to take it back home. We weren't getting any work done. Breaking the fourth wall. Fantastic. Alright. Hope you enjoyed it. This was SimPark. Stay tuned. And I'll see you in the next part. Be right back. Bye.